What is Medium? Is there a certain problem it's built to solve?
Yes, Medium is built hopefully to solve a bunch of problems that I see in terms of publishing on the web today and really in general. It's a place where anyone can write. It's geared toward helping the best stuff rise to the top, and it's geared toward helping people pay attention to things that are a little bit longer and deeper than they may find on other platforms, which I've worked on in the past.
Mm-hmm. Could you have arrived at Medium without Blogger or Twitter? Is it part of a natural progression?
I think for me it's part of a natural progression, and I've been kind of thinking about how to help people express ideas and publish them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think blogs, the way I always describe them, were about realizing what the native format for publishing on the web was. And every medium, so to speak, always has to discover this for themselves.
Right.
And the whole idea of a reverse chronological form where anyone could enter something short or long made a lot of sense on the web. And so that was what Blogger was about. Twitter was a pretty different thing. It's more optimized toward real time, and but the important thing it added that we now realize is important that we didn't build in a Blogger was the consumption experience and building an actual network that very efficiently spread content far and wide. So the distribution being built into the publishing tool was a very key idea of Twitter, and now a lot of the platforms we see today that Blogger and other early web publishing tools didn't necessarily have built in. So Medium, in a sense, combines both those ideas and a bunch of others. And so it's definitely been part of my evolution. There are things built into Medium, at least ideas we're exploring, that date as far back as early 2000, the early days of Blogger. And I just think there's a lot more to explore in this realm.
Okay. In your Medium welcome message, you wrote, "How do we direct our attention to what's most valuable, not just what's interesting and of the moment?" Are there people who are already leading that shift toward value?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if it's a general shift toward value and or just what, because there's always been people who are focused on value versus popularity. But there's a number of startups and platforms or just people out there who are have gotten attention in the last couple years, and long form and long reads are two that people have noticed. Platforms like or tools like Readability or Pocket, I think are lend themselves to that as well, because they make it easier to spend more time on something.
Right.
Certainly, the whole range of what people publish online, there's always been really great, valuable, well-articulated, deep, thoughtful stuff. That whether that gets talked about a lot isn't necessarily the case, though.
Okay. For my last question, we're seeing more long-form writing, and along with that, more thoughtfulness. Is this embrace of long-form simply a stage in the internet's development, or is it a sign of maturation?
I think we're seeing more everything. So there's been a lot of talk in the last couple of years about longer form, I think, as a natural balance to what came before and what still gets a tremendous amount of attention, which is the shorter and shorter form, quicker and quicker, faster to create, faster to consume, disposable landscape of media that people want to counterbalance that, both in their consumption habits and maybe in creation, and people still care about knowledge and ideas and stories that have a little bit more meat to them. I wouldn't say we're done with the throwaway disposable stuff and now we're ready for a good healthy meal. I mean, and at Medium, we don't kid ourselves that we can make people eat their vegetables. But we do want to make important ideas. We want to give them a place. We want to lower the barrier to creating and publishing ideas, separate that from the idea of having to figure out how to build an audience or how to design a web page.
Right.
So there is a process of maturation, but there's also it's just growth. I mean, the internet is consuming everything So there's more of everything.
All right. Thank you for chatting with me today.